so don't just slip by.
Hi, welcome back. Welcome if you're new. I'm Annie. Welcome to my channel. As promised, I'm going to show you my makeup, how I use my makeup and the eyeshadow I bought that I showed you on one of my last videos. So it's going to be makeup day and chit chat. I'm not going out today because it is so hot out there. I've got the aircon on, I'm keeping the dogs cool, so I'm staying in. So I thought it's a good opportunity to show you my makeup today. We can have a chit chat. Right, bear with, because I have got to take my glasses off. And until I put them back on, I can't see. So it's just aim it at your face and hope for the best. So if you hear the birds outside, I've got the windows open. Oh, it's so hot. It's been ridiculous. Right, I'm going to start with my concealer, which I just put in the corner and underneath, just for the dark circles. And they're getting darker as you get older. Then I just blend. Isn't age awful? But I think we've all got to embrace it. If there's anything in your past that you would change, what would it be? Anything at all in your life? I've got so many things I'd change. But the thing is, you can't put an old head on young shoulders, can you? I think for me, I would know that heartbreak is temporary. Failings are lessons. You learn by them. They're lessons in life, which a lot of things I think are lessons in life. Oh, there's so much I would change. I had a good teenage life. It was wild, absolutely wild, but that was sort of 70s. So I remember once I went to a fancy dress party and I was dressed as Mark Bolan, T-Rex. If you're of a certain age, you'll know exactly who it is. And I had like a dark brown curly long wig on, round glasses like they were in the 70s. I had bright orange flare trousers on and a striped waistcoat, Mark Bolan. And I had a wonderful time at this party. Sang, I danced, I drank, and I drank so much. And after a while, I was so drunk, I decided to walk home. Well, I must have fallen asleep in the park on the big field bit. And I got woken up the next morning by a man with a dog. His dog was sniffing me, thought I was dead. There was Mark Bolan, dead, in the park, in orange trousers. So I just got up and staggered home. You wouldn't do it now, would you? I don't even drink now. One glass of wine, I'm asleep. Right, so that's the concealer. I also use fingers to blend it. Now, I've got this foundation stick by Merit. It's actually the wrong colour for me, but we'll make it do. I'll only put a bit on. But I find it quite hard. I have to let it set on the skin a bit. But I just do it in areas. Right, notice I don't do my forehead. It's only because I can't be bothered to move my hair. Oh, let's just move it. Don't be lazy, Annie. Oh, God, that's so attractive. Right, I'll just let that sit. What's your worst makeup problems as you've got older? I've got so many. I've had to change a whole lot. But do you know, by putting makeup on, it does make you feel better. I mean, I'm not even going out today and I'm doing this. Actually, I wouldn't. If I wasn't showing you, I'd just slam it, really. But to put your makeup on, it really makes you feel better. We all get lazy, that's the thing. And we look at our skin and we go, oh, what's happened? Let's just not bother anymore. Right, I've just blended that in. down my baggy neck. It is the wrong colour, it's too orange for me, but it actually is really nice. The coverage is lovely and it doesn't sink into your pores. I sometimes use a primer, but I'll be honest, I forgot it today. Oh, and Alzheimer's is kicking in. Right, I'm going to do my eyebrows. I have had them microbladed, but that was a long time ago. But to be honest, I wouldn't have them done again because it really hurt. Probably don't, it's just probably my pain threshold. So I just fill my eyebrows in. I can keep my glasses on for this bit. I just fill them in a bit. I don't go too mad because I think when you're older, it looks stupid. And I find if you have them too thick and too dark, it makes you look angry. And I just try to lift them a bit at the top, make that bit arch because it makes it look like your eyes are wider open instead of all old and droopy. As I say, I did train many years ago to do makeup, which was nice. I wouldn't say I was ever that good at it. I used to do wedding makeup and that. And I did train at one point to do nails, do the false nails. Oh, it was many years ago. And I was absolutely hopeless at it. Everyone went out with like hoofs. Oh, it was terrible. I can't even bear sitting and having my nails done. I do them myself because, oh, it's just like watching paint dry. Well, it is watching paint dry, but it's tedious. And I found that when I was doing it, oh, I was hopeless. Great big thick hoofs they went out with. Then I went and trained only about 5 years ago to do individual eyelashes for people, which I actually really loved. But the problem is, over the years, my eyesight has gone and it's got worse and I couldn't see what I was doing. Look, I got one eye than the other. I'll have to walk with one foot down the curb. No one will know. I ain't going anywhere. Yeah, my eyesight was going, so I had to give up because I'd end up attaching them to their eyebrows. Now I'm going to use this eyeshadow, Morphe, that I bought the other day that I showed you in one of my last videos. I've used it and it is lovely. Right, I start off with the light colour and I just use that as the base to build on. And you don't just put it on your eyelid because when you get older, this bit starts to droop and you need to try and pull that up visually, not literally. It's a bit like my neck, really. Honestly, that's why I wear my hair up so much because I think it pulls it up. Yeah, someone said once, you have to brush your eyebrows up. It's attractive. I went round looking surprised for a week. Yeah, it weren't for me. Wasn't my best moment. What disasters have you had with makeup? I've had many. Fake tan. Fake tan. That's never successful, is it? It's never even. It always looks fake. But it goes orange on me. I look like I've been tangoed. It looks absolutely ridiculous on me. Right, now I just get a little bit of that on my finger and I go underneath my eye just to the middle because it just brightens the bottom of your eye. And I'll tell you my pet hate. I don't know if you've seen a lot of people do it, especially women of sort of my sort of age, because in the 70s it was thick eyeliner and it was eyeliner underneath, black eyeliner. Well, people still do it. And when you're older, it just droops your eyes down even more. You've got to lift them. Don't go too dark underneath because it looks ridiculous. Right, now I'm going to use a different colour to shade. I'm going to use that one and that one, starting with the lighter one because I'm building it. You see the professionals do this, they tap their brush nicely. I just blow it, probably get loads of spit on it. Yeah, so I just go in the eye socket, but slightly up because it pulls that bit of your eye up. So this is the lighter colour. And the reason I'm using the lighter colour as well is because it's quite rich. And if you use grey browns, there's no warmth in them. And your skin loses that warmth as you get older. So you need to try and do that. Right, I always use my fingers to blend. I find it's better than any brush. And I'm just pulling out everything up, nothing down. There's anything drooping down. You droop enough without making it look even worse with makeup. So that's that colour. I'm only doing it lightly. I used to wear so much makeup, but over the years I've calmed it down because I think you look younger when it's more natural. Right, and then the same on the other eye. Ah, the dating. It's getting better. I've been chatting to a chap on there. Very nice chap. And he subscribed to my channel. Hi, Phil. And he's been telling me about making sourdough bread. Honestly, is that what happens when you get older? You go on a dating site, you talk about cooking and the weather. Must be an age thing, really. But we've had a laugh as well. Yeah, so it's quite nice. And sometimes it's just nice to have that chat. It's lovely. Right, I'm now going in with the darker colour. You've got to be careful, don't overdo dark. And what I'm doing is just taking it at the side of my eyelid and then bringing it up. Now, bearing in mind I haven't got my glasses on, so I'm hoping this looks all right. Probably look like flipping Coco the Clown. I'm going to just need a red nose when I finish. Right, so I've just gone into the corner, into the socket and into the side of the eye. Now I'm just going to smudge it again upwards and then inwards. So it's not overdone. Well, I hope it's not. I won't know till I put my glasses on. And the same with this side. In the socket and across and up at the sides. Always up. Everything you do when you're older on your face has got to be upwards. Isn't it awful? You get like these jowls as you get older. And it's this. I even thought I'll go and see how much it is for a facelift. That's a bit vain, isn't it? That is vain. I'm just going to grow old gracefully. Well, sort of, with this pink hair. Then I'm just going to take the slightly lighter brown, bit of spit on the brush, and just go in that corner, just along the lash line, and then smudge it just in that corner, just to get a little bit of definition. Otherwise, you find especially when you've got your concealer on, your eyes just, there's no eyelid, it just all blends into your face. So you can see the effects that you're getting there. It's hard to make them both look the same. So I just bought one side. So that's the eyeshadow. I'm not going to put it away yet because I'll probably get it back out and touch it up in a minute. As I say, it makes you feel so much better when you put your makeup on. It really does. Look at me hair. Right, now I've got an eyeliner, pencil eyeliner. This is a Clinique one called Egyptian. I love this one. And what you've got to do is first of all go up inside your eye on the lash line, but on the upper lid. Just on that inner corner on the inside. Make sure it's one that doesn't go all horrible when it gets wet, because your eyes are often wet and they water in the heat and the sun. And if you have one, it ends up all down your face. But you just define that line, but you only go from the corner to the middle. It's not easy showing anyone on here. And then what I do is I go on the top. This is the hard bit when you don't wear glasses. Go right into the lash line on the top, only halfway across, but not down at the end, up at the end. It's very hard to get that tick at the end when you've got wrinkles, because it just falls into them. So you just go into the lashes very, very carefully at the top. It's not easy. As I say, when you haven't got glasses on, you don't know what it looks like till you put them on. And then what I do is I do it slightly thicker at the edge, and I just slightly, instead of going up, I go out, because I find that's better. I mean, don't look at it yet, because I've got to smudge it in and that. Just slightly. And I do that at the edge. And this is a good idea to do this if you don't wear mascara, because it defines the lashes better. I struggle with mascara. I've always had absolutely beautiful eyelashes, but they fell out along with my hair. And honestly, why does that happen? Yet the hairs on your legs, they're as thick as ever, and you've got to shave them. They don't fall out, do they? Life can be cruel, can't it? Yeah, so same on this eye. Just along and straight out the side, not down. So that's just defined your eyelashes. Now I'll get a little brush that's slanted. I don't know if you see it if I put it against there. It's slanted. It's a little sort of quite a hard brush. Now I'm going to go in with the colour. I'm going to go back in with that darker colour. You can go for the... Oh, let's try the darker one. That's better for an evening out. It's probably too heavy in the daytime. And then I go over that eyeliner, because I find it sets it and it softens it as well, so it's not a hard line. And then just into that corner again, just take it outwards. And then the same on the other eye. I mean, you don't want to go too mad, you don't want to put too much on. I mean, this is not like going to Aldi supermarket. This is if you're going out somewhere. And again, just out at the sides. But as I say, it just sets it. And that's the result. I always put my mascara on the very last thing. I'm struggling to wear it, and what I've been doing lately is I put a little tiny bit on the bottom, and then only a small bit on the top, but I go more at the side lashes. Right, with that, what I'm going to do is put some concealer, just a dot of concealer there and there. And then it takes away any little particles that have dropped, and it also sharpens that edge to get it to go up. I need to be going out today somewhere. Right, now there's a trick that I've learned, and what I've been trying to do is because of this, I've been trying to disguise it. So the way you do that is, with the concealer again, it's best to try and get a bit of a luminous one. No, not luminous. One that illuminates, that's it. Right, and you just go along the top end of your jawline with it. You can also do this with a slightly lighter foundation, but I haven't got any, so this is what I'm using. Right, so you do that. I'll use the same small brush. You could do with a bigger one really, but I'll just blend it in. I'm going to end up using my fingers on this. This isn't professional. This is just me. It's a bit like my home decor. You see everyone with cottages in the Cotswolds. Well, I'm in a flat in Rochester. Right, so just blend that. So that's illuminated that. You can already see you've got a bit of a definition there. But then the trick is to use, this is a bronzer. Well, I think it's a bronzer. Contour it. So then you go round underneath along the jawline. Remember to blend this, because otherwise you go out and you look like you've borrowed someone's face for the day. Right, so you go under the jawline. And where these jowls are, slightly go up a little bit higher on that. And then you go into a V on your neck. It's like painting by numbers. Do you remember that? So you do a bit of a V underneath. Do not forget to blend this. But look, even with that, looks like I've got the wrong head on. Yeah, so with that, you can already see the definition there. And I'll just get my flat brush. When you see these makeup videos, they go, this is brush C32. You've got time to look at the numbers. I haven't. I'll go, yeah, that one I do. Right. And then you blend it. Blend it in so it don't look like you've stuck someone else's face on you. But you can see you get a jawline out of it. Don't forget to blend it just carefully there, to blend it in with that concealer or foundation. Otherwise you've got a line. You don't want any lines. But it gives you the definition. But keep looking at it in different lights, because you don't want to be looking at it and think, actually, it looks really ridiculous. You look in one mirror and it's not, the light's wrong, and you go out and people can see it. But that has changed the shape of my face. It's given me a jawline. It's a good tip. And then with the same, I don't know if it's concealer or bronzer. I'll have a look in a minute. I haven't got my glasses on. Then, same thing. Never drag down or too low. So what I do is I just go just below the top of the cheekbone, and I just put some dots along there. People contour everywhere, but I think if you over contour your face when you're older, it makes you look like a skeleton. So you've got to be careful. Right, and then I just blend it by tapping it in. So I just tap it in. Can you see the difference that's made? I do look a bit shiny actually, but it's so hot and I've turned the fan off. Right, and then like I said to you before, if you've got if you're older skin, you've got to put the warmth in it. Otherwise it looks like you're dead. So I've got the same. I'll have a look and see what these are. These were really cheap and the best things I've ever used. Right, this is like a blusher. And I go above that, just with little dots. Now, the problem with me is I have a bit of trouble with blusher, because I end up looking like, do you remember Wurzel Gummidge and Aunt Sally? I end up looking like Aunt Sally. And tap that in, but just go slightly onto the cheek with it. But always tap. And try and lose that line. You can go back in with your concealer on that. And I'll do that on my chin, that on my nose. It's probably a bit too much, but it's only for the purpose of the video. So that's that done. Let me tell you what they are, because they are amazing. Glam, they're called, and they were really, really cheap. The writing's so small on the bottom that I can't tell you any more about it, but it's called Glam. I think you can even get them on Amazon. They are really good. So cheap. Right, mascara. I've used all different mascaras, and I buy the cheaper ones, they're better. I've also got a heated eyelash curler, and I just find this really helps, because when you get older you don't have that nice curl on your lashes anymore. I might have to take that shininess off under my arms, but I am sitting in front of the window. Right, heated eyelash curler. I've just heated it up. Just put it under your lashes and lift. Hold it there for a minute. I do it a few times, and it really brings them out. So the faces you make when you're doing your makeup. Right, I'll just lift it, and you can really see the difference there. But don't, when you're older, don't overdo your mascara. It looks ridiculous, and it never goes on smooth. It looks clumpy. Yes, I do that before my mascara. Right, and then I do the outer lashes. I do a very small bit on the inner lashes, just one coat, and then the outer lashes, I build them a bit more. Never do more than 2 coats. That's when it clogs. So we just do the one coat, and then the edges, which I'll go back and do the edges a bit more in a minute. Just let that dry a bit. On the bottom lashes, I've hardly got any lashes left at the bottom, but I just do a tiny little bit, just so there's a little bit of definition, and they don't just disappear, that you've got something there. I was wearing false eyelashes, but do you wear false eyelashes? Because I love eyelashes. I think eyelashes are so attractive, but I found they pulled my own eyelashes out. Even the individual ones that I am trained to do, it pulled my own lashes out, and I found too thicker eyelashes made your eyes too heavy, and you can't take that when you're older. Right, again, one more little bit on the edge, on the outer eyelashes, just to get that little bit of lift. Right, it never looks brilliant, my mascara. My eyelashes are so awful. They go in all different directions. As my nan used to say, you can't make a silk purse out of a sow's ear, but we still try. Right, what I'm going to do, because I'm a bit shiny, there's a product that I really love, and it's I've had it ages, Laura Geller, and it's the baked, I don't know if it's called foundation, and you have to buy their brush. You have to use their brush, because I've tried other brushes and they weren't as good. So I just dip that in. This you can wear if you just want to go somewhere, it's in the day, you can wear this on its own, no concealer, anything, and it's lovely. So I'm just going to put that under my eyes to take the shine out, but it gives you a little bit of a sun-kissed glow. I'm just going to put a little bit on. I'm not going to go here because I want that to stay light. I don't want it to blend in with the rest. But oh, Laura Geller stuff is lovely. I was a bit reluctant to begin with. I wouldn't say it's mega expensive, but you know, it's like when you pay out for stuff and you think, oh, am I going to like it? But I did buy, it's really knackered now because it's old, this with Laura Geller. Blusher, bronzer, it's got like highlighters in, there's a couple of eyeshadows. I don't use it all. Like any kit you buy, you never use it all, do you? Right, I'm going to put my glasses on. Yeah, that's fine. A bit more mascara, I think. But as I say, you do it, and then if you keep doing it, you go past the point of no return with it, and you can't sort it out because it clogs. It clogs anyway on me, but I just don't want to make it look worse. But I just think thicken that outer layer. I had really lovely eyelashes, as I said. But age takes its toll. But always try and make the most of yourself. Even if you just go and buy a little face powder or something. Just buy something each week. Just make yourself feel good. Right, lip liner. What I'm going to do, we've all got the Cupid's bow. I've got quite a defined one. Is don't go too heavy in the corners. I go up. I define the Cupid's bow. A lot of people say go straight across, it makes your lips look fuller. But it always looks like, when I've done it, it makes it look like I've missed my lip line. So go up again, not heavy in that corner. And then, same with the bottom. I go from the middle out and fade it. And then what I do is I feather it in. Not too heavy at the sides. I feather it in like this. And this just means that when your lipstick wears off, you're not left with just a line around the edge. And it also makes, you can, if you use a different colour lipstick, like I'll show you, you have an ombre effect. So just feather in. Like that. Right, this is so old, this lipstick. I love it. Just a lighter pink, and then I just go in the middle. And then you've got an ombre effect. So it's dark around the outside and lighter in the middle. It has to be pink, doesn't it? It has to be pink. Right. So that is the difference. And it looks so much nicer when you've got your makeup on. You can make yourself look so different just using shading, just using anything. I mean, I do paint and I do draw, so I am an artist, so I do understand about shading and that. But I find it difficult to do it on your own face. But yeah, and that looks, what a shame I'm not going anywhere. Never mind, just the way it is. But age is an awful thing. Age is absolutely horrible. I'm not going to do a food for thought tonight because I've been talking on this video. So I'm just going to end with another embarrassing moment. Many years ago, I had this little two-door car and it broke down. So my sister lent me her car. And I needed to go and buy an enormous roll of bubble wrap, like a ginormous roll. So I went to Staples. It's gone now. I don't know if the company's still going. Went to Staples, went in, bought this massive roll. I mean, it was huge. I think I was moving and I needed it for wrapping everything up. Anyway, I bought this big roll of bubble wrap, came out, I opened the front door of the car and I couldn't get it in. I couldn't get the seat to go down. So I was trying to push it over into the back seat, but it was too big and I was getting myself really worked up. How am I going to get this in the car when the seat won't go down? So I called out to the car park attendant, well, security, I don't know quite what he was. And I said, oh, please, can you help me? Please help me. And he came over. He said, what's the matter? I said, I can't get it in. I've got to get on the back seat and I can't get in. It's too big. Can you help me? He said, certainly. And he opened the back door and put it in. My sister's car had 4 doors. I'm so used to 2 doors. He must have thought I was completely doolally. And I just stood there with my red face and I went, oh, I couldn't get that door open. It wouldn't open. I never went back. I never went back. So think. And I was young then. I wasn't old. I think I've always been bonkers. Anyway, I hope you've liked the chit chat today. Please like, comment and subscribe because I'm building this channel. And if you haven't seen my video on my story, you'll completely understand why I'm building this channel. There's a big reason for it and all your lovely comments, and it all really helps. So thank you all for being there. So until next time, I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.